So, I've been giving this a lot of thought. And, we have going forward when a lot of these boomers pass on, they're the ones that are really keeping this thing going. Uh, Being able to fix things, work on the infrastructure, and the lack of people we're going to have in the next 5 to 10 to 20 years. Highly competent master plumbers, electricians, HVAC people, mechanics. You're gonna need people like that. And for me, I've been in the working class my whole life. I don't like to get dirty. I'm kind of prissy. I don't like to get dirty. No, I don't mind getting like some dirt on me, and then it is all. I don't like the whole. I don't want poop on me, but I don't like grease on me. If I get dirty from my job, I want it to wash off pretty quickly. But if you want people like me to learn this stuff, I refuse. I am perfectly capable. I'm a perfectly capable person that can become a master plumber. Probably pretty, not really, really quick, not overnight, but if I put my mind to it, I can learn it pretty. I think I can learn it pretty good. On top of my entrepreneur mind, I have business savvy mind. I can probably have a pretty decent plumbing business in the future and help contribute to keeping the infrastructure moving forward. So we won't have much of a scarcity of people who don't know what they're doing. And then I can pass those skills on to others. Well, I'm not going to. I'm not going to learn that. I'm not going to sit here, work a physically grinding job that really doesn't pay me much, just so I could sustain my life and try to go work out, and go try to learn plumbing on top of that. No. If society wants somebody like me to learn a valuable asset, a valuable skill like plumbing, you're gonna pay for it. I'm gonna dedicate my time to learning this craft for society, overall for society. I'm not going to sit here and work a 40-hour work. I can work a part-time job. Back in the old days when boomers can go to college and they can work a part-time job and pay their college off. I can do something like that. That's fine. But I am not gonna kill myself working 40 hours a week plus to try to live up to this when we have all of these people that we pay to do nothing on welfare. I'm not going to exert all that effort, age myself, stress myself out. No, I'm going to do the opposite. This is what I was talking about my one of my videos is I want less responsibilities. If this is the way things are going, I want less responsibilities. I could take on more, but I'm not going to do it by myself. I'm just not. I'm not going to exert that type of energy. Number one, I don't even want to learn plumbing. I don't want to learn the in-depths to be a master plumber, electrician, or HVAC. I don't want to learn that. Carpentry. I don't want to learn that stuff. I have no desire to learn that. So if society needs that and they need people like me to learn that, you're going to pay for it. If we can pay for all these foreigners and their welfare, if we can pay for these Americans and their welfare, if we can pay for foreign wars end the foreign war welfare and give all these other countries, you can pay for people like me to take 2 years of my life where I don't have to be in the workforce, where I could dedicate my time fully to learning this craft. I'm not going to split myself in two different things, having to run a household, having to do all the dishes, do all this stuff on my own, do my own laundry, pay. I'm not doing all that. I'm not. Oh, you're a little kid. I don't care, okay? Society can fall. I don't care. Society needs people like me to learn this stuff. And after everything I've been through with the struggling, with the continued struggle right now, the stress for money alone is just unbearable. And you think that I'm gonna go ahead and take my free time where I can just relax, unwind, create, come up with ideas, have some self-reflection, maybe try to mend some traumas I've been through? You think I'm gonna sit here and take that time? I'm gonna work 40 hours a week to sustain my life currently, and then go to school for 40 hours a week? Like, it's just not happening. No, I don't care that much. I don't care that much. Oh, you're a socialist. You're a social. No, listen, dude, I've been screwed over enough. And I don't care that much. Now, if this society was a bunch of feminine women that wanted to be wives and mothers, and they weren't basically trying to be like me, perhaps I would try harder. But when I look at this current society and I see all of these women that want to be, they don't want to be wives and mothers. There's way more guys than there is women. I don't care about this society. No. Screw it. The society hates me anyway. Why would I exert all that effort when the society hates me anyway, just because of the color of my skin? No, you're going to give back. I see all these people that are rich, have all these resources, and they keep extracting. They don't give anything back. No, you're going to give back. If you need me to come and fix your air conditioner, rich people, if you need me to come and fix your plumbing in your castle, you're going to pay for me to learn these skills, because I don't want to learn them anyway. I'll do it. Like, I have no problem learning it. But I'm not going to work a full-time job on top of that. No. It's not happening. I'm not going to work a full-time job and then go to school for 40 hours a week at work, 40 hours at school for it's only a couple of years. No. I'm good. You learn it. Hey, you rich people, you learn it. You have all the time in the world. You learn it. You become these master plumbers we need. You're so smart. You're so intelligent. Give back, dude. Become more of a real person. I already put in my time. It's like, whatever. You know? I look at this society and I'm like, whatever. It kind of needs to fail, to be honest, at this point. It kind of needs to fail. At least suffer. Like, I look at our society now and I'm like, do we deserve a depression? We deserve it. Do I want it? No. Do we deserve it? Yeah. How do we not deserve it? How the average person is like just completely arrogant. There's no humility at all anymore. Even if they're like Christians, like supposed to be following Jesus. Like how can you look at me in the straight face, look down on me because of what I do for a living, honest hard work, and say you follow Jesus and look down on me. Do you understand that I'm living like Jesus did? Do you understand that? A humble, righteous life? Am I 100% perfect? Like, no. How are you living? How are you living? Not to say that I don't look down on some people. I look down on some people for the way they act, their actions. They need to look at themselves in the mirror. But yeah, if you're going to pay for it. That's where I'm at. And a lot of people should be in the same position that hey, if we can afford to pay for all these people to be on welfare, to not do anything, to make future felons, to make future prison inmates, if we can pay for that, if we can pay for people getting blown up for no reason in different countries to serve another country, if we can pay for bringing foreigners over here and sustaining, instead of like I said before, going and making where they live better, no, we're going to bring them here in this really expensive environment and have them have a full ride and just pay for it. If we can do that, you can pay for me to learn a skill that we're going to need. I'm not going to exert that much energy. I'm not going to exert that much effort. Like I said, if this society was a bunch of feminine women that want to, okay, they need to be taking, I can do it. Dude, I can work 80 hours a week with the proper incentives, the proper motivation. I'm not motivated. Who the hell is motivated in this society? You know how demoralizing this society is? And I'm supposed to take these people's word on the internet. Oh, you need to listen. If I want to, I will. Okay. If I don't feel like it, then I won't. I don't care. I'm not gonna. Who do I have to live up to? Why do I have to live up to this high for who? For who? You know what I mean? Who do I have to live up the standard of? I have to be the supreme God. Who? I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and in fact, I'll work. The only reason I'm gonna work hard is so my life can be easier, so I'll have less responsibilities. That's why I'll work harder, not because I care about society. I would care about society if society gave a damn about me, but it doesn't. I will work hard. I will work like the farmers if I have to. I can. I drove 1,400 miles in 31 hours before. By myself. I was the only one driving. You know how dangerous that is? I'm the same guy that worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. with an hour commute each way. You know how hard that is? Do you know how hard it is to drive in the morning, to know that you have, you get off of work knowing you have to drive an hour home? You know how hard that is to try to stay awake? You know how dangerous that is? If I'm locked in, not many people can outwork me. If I'm locked in. When I look at the society and I'm all of this crazy stuff that's being pushed on us, all the division. If society's acting proper, I'll fight and die to protect it. But my mentality is I'll just go down with the ship, I guess. If we go to Mad Max, I guess I'll probably die like most people will die. I don't think we'll go Mad Max, but we could. I'm at the point where I'm just like, I honestly, like, seriously, like, if I was to come down with some type of life-threatening disease that could possibly I can overcome, like a cancer, I don't know if I'd fight it. I don't know if I'd want to fight it. I'm mid-40s, man. And I don't want to, or would ever hurt myself. I would never try to take myself out. But, after everything I've been through, to have something like that happen at this point, just let it take me. I probably, like, if that happened, I probably would just, like, I'll just become a drug addict on the streets. Who cares anymore? I'm not going to fight it. What am I fighting for? I've had a good run. I've had a good life. It's time for me to move on. Like, I'm not going to keep fighting. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of turning lemons into lemonade constantly. I work too hard, and people who work as hard as me, like, they do get benefits. They eventually get reward, and it's like, okay, then that's what I guess. Okay, then I'm done. I'm completely demoralized. And it's not because like I want to keep living. I want to experience. I wouldn't mind living to be like 200 years old. I'll take life extension technology. Like, I'm on that. Like, I'll take life extension technology to live to be way older. But I'm done with the struggle. Like, and I understand that life has struggle. So one of my philosophers I like to listen to is Arthur Schopenhauer, and what he talks about is the will. You have the pendulum of going back and forth from boredom to pain. So, you get bored and it's like, okay, I want to go through some pain. So it's like you win the championship, and just take a huge thing so people can understand. You win a Super Bowl. You're like, yeah, I finally got here. You went through all this pain, all this struggle to get there. You win the Super Bowl. You get all this glory. After a little while, it gets boring. And then you go right back to, like, the pain because you want to get another one. You're not just content forever now. I won my championship. Now I'm cool. This is what happens with people that when they win the lottery and they turn out to be drug addicts. Like, this whole life they've been struggling with money, and then all of a sudden this money just plops right down on them. They can do whatever they want. Like, yeah. And then they get bored. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with themselves. So then they ended up, like, wasting it and taking that opportunity where they could really help a lot of people out, and self-imploding because they don't have any direction. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're bored. They're used to, like, a certain life that's not there no more. It's almost like a comfort. I'm done with the struggle. I'm done. I'm tired. I feel like this is how I feel. And this is the way I've been feeling for the last 20 years. All the people, all you people that are struggling. If you watch my video, if you watch this video and you see a lot of people out here complaining about the struggle, I've been dealing with this for the last 20 years. When I got off of welfare, when I, having kids I couldn't afford, I went on welfare. Now, I worked the whole time, so they went based off of what I made. I just didn't get paid enough. Now, I didn't have the skills. What I should have done is I should have acquired the skills, which not all of those come from the same place, okay? That's the thing, is like, these people on the right, they're like, oh, people who work 40 hours shouldn't get paid a livable wage. Okay, then, like, why would they continue to work? If you're not going to pay me enough to even survive, why would I continue to work? I don't want to do this. It's not fun to me. But I didn't get paid enough. I worked the whole time. I didn't get paid enough. Well, that's a teenager. Yeah, at the time I was working at Subway. The time I was working at Subway, I wasn't getting paid enough. That's a teenager job. Well, like, people come in, they get their subs when teenagers are in school. And usually places, they like to hire full-time employees. I don't know if these people understand, like, a lot of these places like to have the full-time employees that come in. They don't want a bunch of part-time employees. They want to have the full-time people that come in Monday through Friday. Like, maybe these people don't understand that. Maybe they've been out of the game too long and whatever. But, like, even recently, I have a full-time job, and I was thinking, I got the weekends off. I don't have a wife. I could use the extra money. It gives me something to do, so I'm going to try to get a second job. And I tried it in multiple places. I tried at a car wash. I got a ton of experience in that when I was younger. Multiple fast food places. They wouldn't even call. They don't want nothing to do with me because, like, I want to work on the weekends. My Monday through Friday is taken. I don't want to work. I'm sorry, I don't want to work from eyes open, eyes shut. I don't have a wife taking care of things at home. I have to take care of everything myself. Like a lot of us at this point. I don't have a mommy to take care of me at home. A mommy / wife. No, I take care of I take care of everything on my own. You think that I want to work from eyes open, eyes shut. So stupid. I'm not working like that. That's not how I'm wired. I can be if I have something I'm interested in, but if there's something I don't want to do, I don't care about being rich. That doesn't. You want to know what really gets me going? You know what makes me want to work hard? To try to solve massive problems in society. That's what makes me that's what gets my brain going. It's not because I want to live in a castle by myself somewhere. Because I want to have a yacht by myself and be surrounded with a bunch of 22-year-old hot women that only care about me because I have my money. That's not what inspires me. That's not what gets me going to want to exert all this energy. No, it's like I look at these problems, I'm like, I want to see this solved. That's what gets me inspired. That's what gets my energy going. Not to acquire stuff. It's just the way society has devolved from the family structure to being everyone's out for themselves is demoralizing. The lack of community, the lack of connection to your fellow human being. And these people on the internet are who don't have to live in reality, by the way, who have tons of money, who are insulated from having to go work a 9 to 5 to survive. They got plenty of resources. They got plenty of people that can help them out. But they look at you like you're a piece of crap because you don't want to work 80 hours a week to look rich for people that don't care. And it's like these people, oh, you're poor, you're worth less because you don't have a ton of money. If your whole life is just about money, that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. There's so much more to life than just money, man. Relationships, connecting with other humans, trying to make things better for society. Not just thinking about yourself all the time. Why should I care about society in general if nobody else does? Why should I exert all that effort to try to, like, if I'm out in the wilderness, for instance, let's take this for an example. Let's say I'm on a plane, okay, and we end up like in the Alps where they had that movie Alive where, you had those people crashing. Let's just say let's just say I'm in a private jet. I'm in a private jet. It's me and maybe another guy and some women. And we crash. Maybe I survive and a couple women do. You think I'm not going to work as hard as I can to try to sustain our lives? You know what I mean? But if everyone's out for themselves, like if we crash and it's a bunch of independent people that are just like, I'm just going to worry about myself, I'll probably do enough to care about myself, but I'm not going to care about them because they don't care about me. And that's what I'm trying to get. Like, if this society don't care about me, why should I care about it? If the society wants to hate on me just because I'm a straight white male, why should I give it two damns about what happens to it? If I didn't have kids, I would unleash my shadow. I wouldn't hold back the shadow anymore. I've looked at the shadow. The shadow is terrifying. My shadow is terrifying. Part of the reason why I don't drink anymore, because it's hard for me to hold the shadow back. When I'm sober, especially when I'm high, when I'm smoking weed, I can hold the shadow back really easily. But if I drink, I can't hold the shadow back. And everyone has the shadow, okay? Everybody has a shadow. We're all capable of atrocities. I don't care who you are, you're capable of atrocities. We're all capable of the guy with the funny mustache. We're all capable of that, whether you think of that or not. Let's take the Donner Party, for instance. If you don't know what the Donner Party was, it was an expedition back in like the 1800s or whatever, when it was still the Wild West. There wasn't roads, they were foraging. So they basically went through a really rough patch. They might have got lost a little bit. They're trying to get to California. So a lot of bad things happened to them in that. And they ended up turning into cannibalism. Do you think that these people were cannibals before that? No, they felt like they were forced to, because they were starving to death. Just like the people in that movie Alive. They turned to cannibalism to survive. That's the shadow. That's the will. My shadow is absolutely ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. It is terrifying. It scares me. And you can laugh. You can laugh all you want. But when I look at myself as, I am not that person. But it is in me. It's in all of us. When you look at the animal kingdom out here, and they don't have the complex brains we have, but you look, they go eat other animals alive. Polar bear will eat you, like they'll eat you alive. You know, a lion, they'll kill you, then they'll eat you. A snake constrict you like a boa constrictor. They're not gonna eat you alive. They're gonna kill you first. Some of these animals, they don't care. Like I don't know, maybe like a grizzly bear. One of these bears. I know a polar bear. They don't care. They don't care about killing you first. They'll eat you alive. That's the ruthlessness of nature, and humans are very capable of that as well. But like we've seen this. We've seen the horrible things that people have done to other people. We've seen this. And to think that you're immune, you think that you're immune if the proper situation came into it. If you were put in not the proper, but the situation, a dire situation, your morality is out the window because you're completely in survival instinct. Some of these cruel, and I'm not advocating for any of these what they did in the past with how they ended people in the past, you know, like the kings. Well, why did they do that? One of the classic things is like Braveheart, like the end of Braveheart. Why would they do that? Because they wanted to make an example out of them. They wanted to control their people. That's how they. If you do this, and this is going to happen to you. That's why they did. I'm not saying it was okay, but I'm saying like we live in such a civil society where we're not barbaric, but if this turns into Mad Max, you will turn into a barbarian to survive. The morality goes out the window and it turns into pure survival. You'll do things that you never would have thought you would have ever thought you would have done. Never imagined you would have done. If things become dire, like the Donner Party. Do you think that they liked doing that? They did it because they wanted to survive. It was so dire they decided to do that. Something similar happened in Russia when the people were starving to death. I think there was some type of island where they took all their food and everything, and they end up like they end up eating some of their children. Horrible. You can look this stuff up, man. Humans, I don't care how righteous you think you are. You get put in the most dire situation. You're gonna think about self-preservation. Some people, like, okay, I'm just gonna starve to death. I'm not gonna, most people aren't gonna do that. You know what I mean? And the Donner, like, yeah, maybe there's some. Okay, I'll just. I see what they're doing. Imagine that you're sitting there at a Donner party. Okay, they're eating other people. I'm hungry. Like I haven't had any food for weeks. I'm weak. Urge is to, man, it's horrible. It's horrible. This is why I want society to be fixed. I want society to be better. And it just seems like it's getting worse. It really does. And like I said, if things were different in the society, sure, I'll work 40 hours a week. I'll go learn HVAC on the side. That's cool. because I want to help make society better. Like I see a need, you need me, you need me to pull all this weight. I'm not gonna pull all this weight while all these rich people are living it up. No, if you rich people want me to, no, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay for me to be able to learn these skills. I'm not playing around with that. Like, you have all these resources, you need people like me to learn these skills. You are going to fully fund my life while I learn these skills. I don't have to live high on the hog. It's basic living. I'm not gonna, if that's how, it's not gonna happen. Okay, then whatever happens. Then people, you better go to your bunker. Have fun in your bunkers. Have fun living underground for however long you're gonna live down there. This is why they don't like me. I'm kind of worried about putting this up because it's talking about human psychology, and people don't want to talk about real things. They just want to live in a fairy tale. They want to live in a fantasy land. They don't like authentic people. But this is reality, man. Like a society where there's more men than women, and they keep bringing in more men than women. Okay. And then you hear people on the internet talk about getting rid of porn. It's like, okay, yeah, porn is bad. But you understand if you just go ahead and get rid of that, it's gonna turn chaotic, right? Do you understand that? Do you understand that's the only thing that's really keeping society from unraveling at this point? Because women want really nothing to do with us. There's so much competition there. Like I said in the other one, like, I want to get good looking just so I can just ego check women at this point. It's not because I want to get a partner. It's not because I want to get laid. It's because I want to be able to flaunt it in their face and show them that they can't have me. You see all these other guys, you look at somebody like me, which I'm not there yet. I got a lot of work to do. You see somebody like me, oh, I want him. He's got it together. He looks like he's dressed pretty good. He's physically fit. And I just walk right past them like they don't exist. That's the point I want to get to. That's what drives me to go the extra mile to self-improve. Not because I want to date a bunch of women. I've already done that, man. Like, I've dated a bunch of women, and it's fun, but it gets boring. I'm not bragging, but I'm just stating facts. Like, at one point, I literally had 10 sex buddies. I literally had 10 of them. Now, they weren't all like 10s. No, they were in my spectrum. They weren't 2s. They were around my sexual market value. Some of them were a little bit below. Maybe a couple of them were equal or slightly better. But I had like 10. I could say, hey, blah, 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 blah. Maybe some of them could hang out in a couple hours. Maybe some of them could hang out in a couple days. But I literally had like 10 of them at one point. That doesn't... it feeds the ego. It feels good for that, but it's like, you get used to that, man, and it becomes boring. Sleeping with a bunch of different women, like I said, it's fun. It hits all the dopamine, of course. We like to be intimate with women. If you're a straight guy, if you like guys and you're a guy, you like to be intimate with other guys. If you're a woman, you like other women, you like to be intimate with other women, right? And for guys, we're wired to. I feel like we're wired to have multiple women in our lives. That's what I feel like. I feel like it seems like men are wired for the polygamous life. And monogamy for men, it goes against human nature. For women, and what is crazy about society, it's like it's flipped, where women are polygamous, and they want a bunch of like harem of men who, whether it's just men on the internet that give them money, but they compartmentalize. I can't say that word right now. You have different functions for each guy. The guy that listens to you, the guy that gives you money, the guy that you like to be intimate with. He's fun. These different, because it is hard to find all that in one guy. It is. You have to sacrifice, and when you have an abundance of attention from men, or a lot of different choices of men, just like throwing themselves at you constantly, it devalues. This is why a lot of women have the egos they have. This is why they have the high standard. It's like, imagine you're a guy, right? Like, okay, if you're a guy, mostly you're probably a guy. Listen, imagine you have no women at all, and then you slowly kind of like are getting attention from these women, and it's not like they're the hottest women, but you have no attention, like, and they're kind of like around your sexual market value. Maybe you're like a 5, maybe 4.5, like me. Like I'm a 4.5, maybe a 4. So they're 4s, 5s coming around and start giving you attention. Well, then what happens if like you start getting attention from people that are, well, let's just say that you're getting attention from women that are a couple levels below you. It's cool, it's different. You haven't had nothing, now you're having something. Now let's just say that comes, like, you're starting to get more and more attention from women around your sexual market value. So what you're gonna have to do is and I've done this myself, you have so much attention, you have to start weeding people out. When I was in the prime of my dating, I would get all these, like I said, they weren't 10s, but like I was getting a lot of attention from, so I would start weeding them out. Oh, you live too far. So I would start like basically trying to get them away from me. Like we were texting and everything like that are interested, and it's like I have like 6 other women that I'm like juggling talking to. I don't have the bandwidth to engage with you any longer, and this is going against you. No. Like these women want to come and hang out with me, and you're pretty much on the same level. I have to drive to you. You're out. You know what I mean? So this is what they're doing with us. This is why they're like, oh, they need to be 6 foot tall. They need to have this much money. They need it. It's just because they have so much attention. Now, how do we reverse this? Well, the only way to reverse this, if we flood our society with women, basically. We have to stop allowing so many men to come in, um, to make things more, like, at least equal, but you need to have more now, because you have to compensate. You have to compensate for people that, like, since we have so many people who like are in the same sex type of relationships, so that takes um, some of them out. So we need to flood. We need to flood the communities with women that, that want to be women. They're feminine women that, you know what I mean. You look at women and it's like, why how can you let your, like, obviously they care about how they look. They put makeup on, they get their hair done, they got nice clothes. But why are you not as sexy as you can be? Why are you not as, like, why do you not care about looking like that physically? Like, why are you know what I mean? Why do we, I'm trying to be YouTube, you make it really hard, YouTube. Why are there so many women that are overweight? Because they get attention either way. They don't care. I guarantee you, if women stop getting attention from men, I guarantee you a lot of them, probably most, if not all, would lose the weight. They don't have to compete. They're really not competing with anybody. They get so much attention from guys. They have so much access to guys. They don't have to compete. So it's like, if you had abundance, you'd let yourself go too. Let's just say you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get jacked. I'm gonna get all this. You do that, and then you realize, I don't know, I'm getting attention anyway. Like, I'm starting to let myself go. I'm not being as disciplined in the gym, but I'm still getting attention. And you start getting bigger. You start getting bigger yourself. You're still getting the attention. So why am I working so hard to keep this physique going, to attract the opposite sex, if I'm getting attention regardless? And that's where it's at. And why are women getting all this attention? Because there's more men than there is women. Maybe not overall, maybe because there's more older women, like elderly women, but like in the key from 18, or 18 to 50, let's just say that, there's more men than there is women at every single age. It's highly it's like there's so much competition for men. There's no competition for women. They don't have to compete against each other. So they let themselves go because they don't care. If you're going to get attention either way, why would you keep working so hard? You don't have that hunger no more. It doesn't matter. And I'm wondering if, like, they're kind of depressed from it. I wonder if this is like too much. And I've said this before, and it's like, I think they're annoyed with us. So that's why I try to leave them alone. I think they're kind of annoyed with us. When you see, like, especially like the compliments, like, and it's like, dude, like, why are you guys doing this? She's an average woman. She's like I see it on, like, sometimes I'll go out on the little Facebook thing, and then, like, they'll pay to be on my, some random person, it's usually a woman, And she's like a regular woman. She's like a 5. And then you look at the comments and it's just like, hey, beautiful, you're so gorgeous. I wish you were my wife. Oh my God, I want you so bad. Like, you're the. They treat them like they're like Sydney Sweeney. They treat them like they're Marilyn Monroe. And they go on there and get that validation, which they should get from their husband or boyfriend in real life. But they're getting it for, like, imagine that yourself as a man. Imagine if, like, you went on the internet and then you're getting a bunch of women just saying, hey, you're so handsome. Oh my God. Like, I wish you were my husband. And your DMs are flooded with a bunch of women. That's what they're dealing with. And, at first it's probably, at first it's cool. Like I said, it's cool. But then it's kind of like, it's just too much. Just too much. And when you hear something all the time, like, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, it's kind of like, yeah, I know. Yep. And you can literally be a 2. And you hear that all the time. Yeah. And you're not as, yeah. And that's what's happening in a society. It seems intentional, to be honest. Yeah, if you want me to work hard, you're gonna need, like, society. Hey, listen, you're gonna need people like me to do these. You're gonna need people like me to learn these skills so I can pass them on to other people, so I can train other people, so I can, you know what I mean? But if you think that I'm gonna go here with the society the way it is, and I'm gonna exert all that extra effort, you got another thing coming. No, I want to go the opposite way. I'm gonna go the exact opposite. And in fact, if I had the resources, I probably would just evacuate society altogether. If I had the resources, honestly, I probably wouldn't even participate in society. If I had the resources, let's just say my assets ballooned up, made me a millionaire, I was worth like a couple $1,000,000, I wouldn't live in a town. I would probably just buy some land, have a self-sustaining house, as much off of the system as possible, still using the internet and Starlink and stuff like that, and just being away from everybody. Trying to get, like, family members to come and live in my little community, start our own little thing, commune, whatever. That's what I probably would do at this point. But I don't have the resources, so I have to participate. Well, if I'm probably never going to ever be able to afford a house, this is where Gen Z is. I'm trying to tell people this is where Gen Z is. If I'm never going to be able to afford a house, if I'm never going to, especially young men, if I'm never going to be able to have a wife, if I'm never going to be able to have kids, I don't care. I'm going to do the bare minimum I have to do to get by, and I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. A lot of these kids don't care if they even live that long. They don't care. Like I was saying, dude, if I get some kind of life-threatening disease, I'll just let it overtake me. You think that you don't have that same mentality? You don't think that the Gen Z men have that same mentality? A lot of them do. What am I fighting for? You don't want me anyway. You would rather have a bunch of people, a bunch of foreigners come into this country who don't understand social dynamics, that are completely tribalistic, that don't have the higher IQ that it takes to live in this type of first world society. You'd rather bring these people in. They're more important than somebody like me. You value them more than me. So what do I care? What do I care if I exist anymore? That's where they're at. And this is why I say Gen Z is prime for, let's just say, government reform. Let's just say government reform. They're prime for government reform. And it's coming. It's coming. In the next 5-10 years, government reform is coming. Radical. Not just government reform, it's radical. I'll just put it that way. Radical government reform. So, we can just keep on going the way things are and not try to fix things and just like put a Band-Aid on stuff and kick the can down the road. But at some point we can't kick the can down the road because there's not going to be any more road to kick the can down to. We're not going to be able to sweep up. We're not going to keep being able to sweep the dust underneath the carpet. You're going to have to deal with it at some point. We're going to have to, the party's going to be over. And we're going to have to grow up. The society is so I can't believe how immature it is. I'm immature as hell, and I'm like, dang, man. I feel like a 90-year-old man. I've been feeling like a 90-year-old man for the longest time now. When I look at, and I'm so immature. I'm so immature. And I'm so much more mature than like so many people out here and just society in general. So it's wild. It's wild. I guess if they decide to, they're probably going to nuke my channel at some point anyway. I'm not going to, like, all my music is getting taken off from my enslaved ones. My music I put out with the singing, that's all going to be taken down from United Masters because I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm not going to keep paying them money. Even if it's $20 a year, I'm not going to keep, I don't care. What I'm gonna do is I still have all the copies myself. I'm probably just gonna reissue the music out on DistroKid through King Outcast. I'll probably just make a couple massive albums with like 30 songs on each and just redistribute the songs out that way. Since United Masters is going to go ahead and take down my hard-earned work. That's what they're going to do. They're going to take down my hard-earned work. Don't use United Masters. If you're going to distribute music, go to DistroKid. Don't go to them. United Masters, they suck.